It set itself to the OBS virtual camera. Sure, why not?
Bloody technology, innit, man? It always gets in the way.
Yeah, it's like when it wants to use my PS5 controller as the microphone. Yeah, or as the speaker. Sure.
Oh,
great quality speaker, that is.
Sorry, I just have flashbacks when I used to be on PlayStation 4 and you could set it so everything came through the controller. And I changed it once and not remembered that I changed it. So I woke up the next day, turned on the PlayStation, I'm like, where's the sound? And why is it only coming out of there? Yeah, man, that was a fucking nightmare of a day.
Yeah, I believe that. I can't believe that. Should I change something about the background light or something?
Nah, it's all good, man.
Okay.
However you're comfortable, that's all I care about. Because, like, I'll be honest, at the moment, as you know, I'm moving. That's my bed.
Get a bit less busy. Well,
I've literally got my bed in the background. I don't even have like covers for it because I'm half moved. So I literally have my PC, an airbed, and a duvet, and a pillow. Only one though, not two. So life is
all you need though.
Oh, it's terrible.
What more do you need? Yeah.
But how are you doing, man? What have you been up to?
Playing a lot of Pocopia recently. I'm doing great. I'm really good. How about yourself?
Oh, mate. You know what? Today has been one of those days. Like, I had loads planned, and I sat down, and I will move eventually. So I've done fuck all.
Yeah.
That's all.
I've been there a couple of times too. I know that feeling. Like the first night in the house, not in the house, the apartment we had before the house. We had to sleep on an airbed because we ordered a new bed because old one is broken. That thing didn't move anymore. Yeah, we woke up not on the air. Well, technically on the airbed. There just was no air anymore. That's like,
oh, mate, in the missus, when she was moving house, she stayed with her mum for a bit whilst, everything got sorted. So we're sleeping on an airbed in her front room. At some point during the night, her mum's dog comes down, scratched at the bottom of the airbed, trying to dig something out or something. I think one of his toys was just poking out. We found out in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, God. Yeah, I got quite an interesting statistic that came out today. Well, I say came out today, I found it today. Like, obviously, like, the premise of my podcast is mostly mental health. Now, I get a lot of mental health stats come through. It used to be every minute someone would commit suicide. Where now it's gotten worse. We're every 40 seconds.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That sucks a lot, yeah.
Like, the world's meant to be getting easier and a better place, but everything's proven that it's not.
Yeah, there should just be more help available in general, though. Does available help that much is the other thing about that. Like, people also have to take the help, of course.
I was about to say, it's not just having the help available.
Yeah.
Like, for example, myself, it took getting to that point of attempting that's when I went and sought help. But how do you do it? Because, like, obviously, now I know you. I see your streams. I see your videos. You are probably one of the most optimistic, happiest people that I know. And, like, I know you've gone through some shit in the politest way. Like when your cat passed. And I swear you literally took a week off of stream and then straight back and you're just straight back to happy-go-lucky. And it's like, how do you do it?
I mean, saying I just do it is a bit too easy to be said. But, like, it's not the first time I had a pet that passed. So, not that I'm used to it. That would be like, no, you won't get used to that. It's just that, especially in the recent case, we had 2 new cats and they helped a lot with that. And like having experienced the death of my 2 dogs back then when I was like 19 or 20, that was hard too. And then our first cat passed away, and then the other 2. At a point, you recover a bit more quickly because, in general, what I did learn with my dogs back then is when you get a pet, be prepared that you will survive the pet. Because cats and dogs just don't get as old as humans. So, yeah, that's for the pet part at least.
Yeah, there's a powerful quote I heard about having a pet, and it's that, because like I'm a dog person, I'm not really a cat person, but like, for example, the quote that I heard, it was relating to dogs. It's like, a dog will be part of your life, but you will be their whole life.
Oh, I have heard that. That's a really strong one. Yeah. That is
great.
I mean, except if you're like very old yourself, maybe then. Though I don't think I would get a pet when I'm like not sure I will survive it, because if a pet needs to move their owner, that's always very bad for them. So don't have to put it through that, you know.
Yeah, grief doesn't just affect humans; it does go through all animals.
Yeah. Like, I mean, sure, I could die in an accident tomorrow, of course, but like I don't count that in, because I probably won't, because I will not leave the house anyway. So what should happen to me? Oh, that crack in the ceiling there.
The benefits of being an introvert, innit?
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure if I'm really an introvert. I definitely was much more introverted when I was younger. But funnily enough, what helped me with that was just a nice shirt, basically. Which sounds weird, but I got like from the husband of my cousin. I got the shirt for my graduation ceremony, like when I was in school back then. Or well, not in school anymore at that point, I guess. And at one point, I found it like just in my. I just found it laying around and was like, might as well put this on. What does it matter? And realized, actually, if I dress nicely, I look better. Which sounds so weird, but like it won't, like dressing nice won't solve all your problems, obviously, but it gave me this confidence boost that basically got me into rolling to become more and more confident throughout my life over the years. And ever since I got that confidence boost, things were going much better for me in my life. Like after that, I got my first girlfriend and stuff. Later on, of course, met Moby, and yeah, it brought me to this point basically. So and that also created.
No, you carry on. You carry on.
Yeah, I just want to say that also created a lot of my positivity, I guess, because I try to look at the positive sides of everything, basically. Like, of course, back to the pets passing, there is no positive to that, obviously, but, you know, try to just have fun still, even if shit happens to you. Which is easier said than done. Like, I am fully aware of that. I think I'm just in a good mental position that I can do it very easily, while others probably can't. And that, like, I hope my positivity sticks at least a bit with people.
Oh, it really does. Honestly, every time I've ever spoken to anyone that knows you or seen one of your streams, that the first thing they're saying is that you're fun and you're positive. Like, this is why I was so wanted to get you on, because like there's a lot of people out there that they do struggle with everything, even streamers themselves, that are essentially putting on a facade rather than actually showing themselves. Now, from the amount of content you're putting out, you can tell that it's not just a facade; it is your genuine self.
Yeah, I think it would be very tiresome to just not be myself, to be honest. I don't wanna do that.
Yeah, and frankly, it's great that you're not, because how else are you going to be able to engage with your audience? Because your audience are there for a genuine person. They're not there for an act.
Yeah. I also don't really like watching content where people like act. I mean, obviously, like in movies they act, but that's a different kind of acting. But like streamers or something, I rather watch people who are just enjoying the game they play. Basically, that's like I have more fun in that. I know there are these people who basically hate watch to go into a streamer who plays a game they don't like, to hate on the game, and like, why? What do you gain from life when you do that? What do you get from that?
So have you ever had someone coming in and being like that towards one of the games that you're playing?
Yes, actually, quite recently, like a month or two ago, was on my German stream when I played Pokemon Legends ZA, and someone just came in. Why is someone playing a trash game like that? And I basically immediately timed them out. After which they came back and were like, I just stated my opinion. Why do you time me out? That was unnecessary. And then I was like, dude, if you state your opinion that you don't like the game, that's fine. But you called the game trash. Basically, you say, I play a trash game, thus I have bad taste or something like that. The way it's worded is important in that case.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, then
meaning.
Just a ban and with that.
Is there so now I'm not bilingual. Is there a difference between your German community and like your English speaking community? I don't want to say your English community, because at the end of the day, it's not just British people. It is American, Netherlands. Like you get people from all over the world. Let's be fair.
Yeah. No, not really. Actually, I mean, I get the same bots. No, but like, I do see that people come in more positively. Well, with exceptions here and there, of course, but in general, basically, there isn't really much of a difference. So, I guess I'm doing something right. In that case.
Yeah, you've gotten very lucky with the community that you've built on yours. Now, I know that obviously you're working on a project behind the scenes as well. How are you managing to balance that alongside your English streaming, your German streaming, your English YouTube, your German YouTube, having a full-time job? Like, you are the definition of busy.
Well, I don't have a full-time job is the thing. Like, yeah, I basically don't have a job. It's thanks to Moby having a very well-paid job that we can afford all this. And I can follow, well, not this specifically, like the streaming and stuff yet. Like, you know that we, like Nu and Glennon and Nukius in there, make our own game and stuff. It's thanks to Moby having this really good paid job that I can afford to do all this. I don't think if I had a full-time job, I would do all this stuff, to be honest.
So you've gotten very lucky to have that support network around you, essentially.
Yes.
Because the team that you mentioned that are helping you with the game, they're not just essentially strangers. These are people that you've known for quite a while, from what I'm aware.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Nu is there for like a year now or something, and like we knew Nu and I. Damn, it's like 4 years or something that we know each other now. So yeah. I built the trust first, and then,
It does get like that with him. All of a sudden, you realize how long you've known him.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think Nu is a good example as well. I don't want to talk about Nu all the time in my episode here, but like, I don't want to necessarily take all the credits for him becoming more positive as well, but not to say too much, because a lot of that is also private stuff, but Moby and I helped him through a lot, and I think he would agree to that as well.
Absolutely.
Like, he did agree to that already. Like, he thanked us with all that stuff. So I'm really glad that my positivity can help other people. Like, that's just good.
Do you think that it also helps with the speaking about your positivity, the genre of games do you play? Because they're mostly Square Enix. You play a lot of the only one that come to my head is Dragon Quest for some reason, but I know you play a lot of Switch games as well, stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and stuff. Yeah. And basically, I always like, even when I was a child, I was reading fantasy stuff, and I always like hero stories where we get a good ending in the end, like the hero wins and stuff. I always liked that, so I guess my taste in games comes from that too. The question is my positivity coming from that, or do I like them because I stay positive? That is a good question, but I think it does help me to stay positive.
Absolutely, because I've never seen an Elden Ring streamer, for example, being as positive as you.
Well, I do plan to do Elden Ring at one point.
Oh, let me know when
I
that's
will
happening.
probably
I will be there for every single one because I know what that game's like.
I mean, I played Sekiro, not on stream, but well, that was frustrating too at points. But it's always a good feeling to get through the frustrating parts.
I'm going to derail the conversation a little bit because I've got a question. Now,
Okay.
as you know, I done the Lift for Life challenge, that 24-hour deadlift that I done. One of the countries that was involved, we had a German strongman and his gym being involved with it. Now, we're raising money for charity. Obviously, in the UK, when we raise money for charity, it is for a specific charity, so we could choose exactly where it was going. How does it work in Germany? Because he was essentially he tried to explain it to me. I didn't fully understand it. He was like, "Well, it goes into a pot and it's split amongst everyone," or something like that.
As far as I know, you can just basically do the same. You choose who you do the charity for, and then just give them the money you earned.
He might have been just putting it into a pot then, just to try and help as many as possible.
Yeah.
Then. Like that was just me being nosy more than anything.
I mean, one stream I watched who did a charity stream in January had like 3 causes he wanted to support, and he just split it equally by 3 and gave it to them. So to me, it looks like pretty much the same as in UK, to be honest.
Okay, so it is pretty much the same. I'm just like like I said, he might have been doing a pot, and I just got myself confused. But
maybe.
Now, obviously, a big side of mental health, especially for myself, has been the gym, going out, getting active. What is it you do to help keep your mental health like in the best possible way?
Not much, to be honest. Like, I mean, I do like slide workout, which is like a bit of jogging indoors, not really much. I know I should do more, but well, I guess it's just the way I naturally am that I'm like positive. I do have my downs here and there, and Moby helps me through those. But usually I'm just happy with my life, to be honest. I like where I am. And I like where I'm going.
That's the main thing. It seems like you've got a goal, and that's what's helping keep you as alongside your support network.
Yeah. Question is what happens if I don't reach that goal, but I think I will be fine.
Oh no, I think that game's gonna get out no matter what, and we can go from there onwards.
Exactly. I'm not really like, I mean, when it comes to the game, I am aware that it might, even if it comes out, that it might fail. So the possibility is existent, of course, but I tackle it with like the mindset of people will love it. And it will, well, money is also, of course, a thing because I want to make game making my job. So it needs to earn money, and I think it will sell well as well. So I tackle it with that mentality.
How is that working? Are you going through I'm assuming like you and your team, you're the ones that are actually developing it, or are you going to be going through a publisher for it, or are you going to be doing a full indie game where you publish it yourself, or have you not even got that far ahead and I'm now just probing at stuff?
No, so currently we're looking at like, is it 2 or 3 companies who basically do funding if you send them like your game idea and like drafts and stuff. And we're currently working to get that to them and then see if we get funding. And then we can hire other people, of course, which will make things quicker because the game sadly is a bit big, but I can't just make a smaller game. My head just doesn't work like that. I do want to go big. Like it's always like, okay, small idea. And then it's just like, but we could do that and add that. That would make it even better. And suddenly it explodes. I just can't stop myself. That sucks so much. But yeah, they're not like really publishers, but more like they fund games and then you can pay them back once you start selling the game.
Yeah, sort of like an investor sort of thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah. What we are currently looking at. If that does fail, then we have Kickstarter as an option.
Yeah, there's all sorts of other options out there available, which I'm sure, especially with now, I don't want to say too much about it because obviously I know more than anyone watching this, essentially. And I know that the idea is very, very good. So I know that if like it got to the point where it was on Kickstarter and you just had to write a blurb essentially for it, I think you'll get the funding pretty quickly.
I think too, yeah. I just want like to have at least a bit of like material to show, like actual footage of the game, not of the finished game, but at least like how it would look. A couple of things, you know, like the first 3D models and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like, because I feel like when people only do a text thing on Kickstarter, that's like, okay, you have an idea, but can you really commit to it? It's like, I feel like you should show a bit more already done.
Oh yeah, and you're in a very good position where you've managed to get a lot of it done ready to be able to show this off.
Yeah.
So going back to how you're juggling your time, which part of, because as I said, you've got the 2 YouTubes, you've got the 2 Twitches, the game, and I know you said you haven't got a full-time job, but you still have a personal life, don't you? Like, you need to have that in there. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure Moby wouldn't be very happy if you spent all of your time ignoring her and doing everything else.
Yeah, basically, when it comes to my German YouTube, because English stuff, I only do like the streams in the evening nowadays, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The German streaming I basically do when she works. And what I do there is record the Let's Plays for my YouTube and also edit them on stream. And like, I end around like 4 to 5 p.m., which is when her work also ends. And thus, it basically doesn't clash.
Okay.
So the evenings and the weekends, mostly at least, are for us.
That's good. So your schedule is essentially working quite well around having a personal life as well.
Yeah, especially since like I can take my time of streaming and stuff whenever I want, basically. And given Moby's job, she has like what do you call that in English? She can also technically work whenever she wants, except if there are meetings or stuff.
Remote work. No, not remote
work. Yeah, she is working remotely. Yeah, working from home.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I can't think of a proper term for it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's not like a 9 to 5 or something. She can just, if she wanted, she can work through the night.
Okay. Because now, as I know, Moby is a big gamer, you're a big gamer. Do you find that has helped bring you two together and keep you as close as you obviously are?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I know she loves watching me play, and she herself doesn't play that much necessarily, but when she gets into something like currently Pocopia, she just can't stop playing. And I also like watching her from time to time. So yeah, that's like yeah, that and like manga, anime stuff is basically our main thing. And what basically also made us know each other, because that's what we talked about initially and stuff. And then finding out that she lives pretty close also did help, because like I knew her from ICQ, if anybody remembers that. So just random people on ICQ, and then you find the one you marry and are married to for like, it's 11 years, I think now.
Jeez. Should have got less for murder.
Yeah.
But speaking about anime, now I know I don't seem like the type. Now you know me, and you know that I do like my anime. I've gotten very much into it. Like, for example, one of my young ones, I got her into Demon Slayer, and she's one of those. She would never sit down and watch anything. I tell you what, I had to get her a Crunchyroll subscription because she watched it episode 1 right to the end of the Hashira training just in one go. And I'm like, I am so proud. I am so proud. Then the film comes out. Infinity Castle, and it's like, you're a year too young. Right, so it's your birthday present, isn't it?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so
that's good.
And obviously, me being me, she watched it all in English because subtitles are difficult for her. So I told her, I'm like, yeah, it's only in Japanese. They haven't released an English dub. They did,
yeah.
But you know, you've got to watch it properly if you're doing it. But
yeah.
Now, with the anime side of it, do you find that there's certain animes that you try and stay away from? Because, for example, I found one Tapioca's something, and it was one of the most depressing animes I've ever seen. I watched the first episode, and yeah, I'm not letting her watch that.
Yeah, basically, like, if it's sad stuff, I like, just with live action movies as well, sad stuff doesn't really interest me that much. Because like I said, I like hero stories, so I mainly watch like shonen stuff, so One Piece, for example, to name a big one, where it's just like the hero wins in the end. And I just like that. I do like if it includes also sad things, like, I guess the spoiler doesn't matter at this point anymore, but like Ace's death in One Piece is holy shit, and big respect that such a beloved character was killed off, actually. Like, most mangaka don't have the balls for that. To kill someone that the people love so much. But yeah, if it includes that stuff to have character growth and stuff, I'm fine with that. But if it's like going to a sad ending, I'm just, yeah, why bother? If it all ends badly anyway, I might as well just not go there.
So part of the way that you're managing to stay so optimistic about everything is essentially, by the sounds of it, trying to avoid anything that can essentially become negative. Like,
yeah,
in terms of content, like content consumed, like, for example, you like anything on YouTube, Crunchyroll, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
It's a good way to do it because you are what you see at the end of the day. So
yeah, I mean, I do watch like maybe a true crime thing here and there, which mostly doesn't end well, but that's more like, what's interesting about that to me is more like the side of the investigation and stuff, which is kind of interesting. Also, like, already that this will end with a death, because that's what it's about. So it's not really about getting to the sad part or about it being sad. It's really more about the information of what happened there. That's how I feel about those, I guess.
Yeah, I do think that it is important to, as a community, as a people's, like the whole world, we should still have these sort of interactions with knowing what happened, because at the end of the day, there's a saying that history repeats itself.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to try and break that loop is by seeing what has already happened and trying to essentially stop it, nip it in the bud, so to speak.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I forgot my next question. I literally had one coming straight off of that, and it's just gone from my head.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
But yeah. So obviously you're a very retro person, especially because I mean, look at your background. Like straight away, the first thing I always notice whenever you go onto a larger screen, when you're on your small screen in your streams, you miss out on some of the little details, like your Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
I see that straight away. Do you find that like almost holding on to stuff from your childhood? Was that a childhood thing that you had, or like the Nintendo and all of that? Was it? Would you say
Like
you grew up?
the Super Nintendo over there that's the one I had in my childhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't really see it there.
Oh yeah, I can trust me, mate. As soon as I spot it, I remember having one. So as soon as I spot it in the background, it's like, yeah, I recognize it straight away.
The N64 controller isn't that new. That's the Switch one.
Ah,
that's not the original. But like playing N64 games on Switch with like the Switch Pro controller, which is a controller I love, but like N64 wasn't made for that controller.
Oh,
it's
100%.
like, yeah, you can't play that with a normal controller. It just doesn't work.
I used to love playing Mario 64, I'll be honest, and Mario Kart 64. Oh, mate, I need to find my 64. But anyway, I've gone off on one. Like, so what I was trying to get at was, so you grew up with gaming.
Yes.
So that stayed a big part of your life throughout it. Now, when you got into gaming, what was it that brought you to it? Was it still the escapism for fantasy and the hero winning at the end of the day, or was there a separate reason?
Kinda hard to tell because basically at my cousins I played like, I don't know if it was Super Mario Bros. Or Zelda, which I first played because I was 6 years old, because she had a Nintendo, like an NES. And later on I got my own Game Boy because I liked playing the NES when I was over there, and begged my parents to get my own one. Never got the NES, but I got the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy. And yeah, basically from that point on, I think I was 8 when I got the Game Boy, maybe 7. I just played. It probably was escapism at a point because I was on the verge of becoming one of those people who live basically in their like dream anime world at one point. And I'm glad I didn't fully take that turn and got like back to reality, touch some grass, as you say nowadays. Because like, how do I put it best? I found a dislike towards people like that at a point, simply because I thought it's like stupid and stuff, but I have grown out of that thought and more like into, damn, you would have needed somebody in your life to not become like that, because it's more like a sad thing. If you really think about it, people are in that place for a reason. I was in that place because as the overweight kid in class, of course you think I will never get a girlfriend, blah, blah, all this shit. Which is absolutely not true. I mean, look, I am married now. So, yeah, like, being overweight doesn't make you, like, a worse person or anything. And a lot of stuff was, like, me being overweight. That said, I was never a victim of, like, mobbing and stuff, gladly. It was, like, sure, like, my classmates were making fun of me because of my weight. But at the same time, we were also, like, maybe not friends, but we were getting along well, could talk normally and stuff. And like, it's just boys making jokes about everything.
Yeah.
So I come from a very good position in that case already, not having these problems at school, but I think it's mostly media that depicts the fat guy, if you will, always as the jokester of the group, the funny one, the stupid one. And having watched a lot of TV back then, I fell into that thought process that, well, I am that, which I am not. I know that now, but back then, it got me into that mind space, and yeah, that spiraled somewhere. And then like basically the shirt thing happened that I mentioned earlier, and spiraled me back out of that, which also did not help, which was shortly after my graduation, my parents moved to Hungary with me for a year, where they got a divorce, which honestly, that divorce didn't faze me that much. Like, never had like a big connection to my dad anyway. But that was probably my lowest point, because not being able to speak the language there and basically only existing in that house that they bought there, my world was very small. So in my head, I made my own world. And getting out of there, I am so glad I did that, because I did manage to do that. Because, well, of course, the world you make for yourself is a great world, but it's just not the real world. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
Like we're now at a point where in adults, not children, 1 in 4 people actually suffer from loneliness to the point where we get that statistic that I said earlier about every 40 seconds. That is a major player in it. So when you went to another country, from what I can gather, you essentially became isolated to just you and your family, nobody else really, all down to a language barrier.
Yeah, like, sure, here and there we had visits from my family from Germany, but yeah, that happened like twice in that year or something, and it's like not enough. That's just not enough social contacts.
Do you think that year of isolation essentially, though, has helped change you in a positive way rather than a negative way?
Thinking back, it might actually have. Because getting to this low point makes you appreciate more the way you live your life once you get out of that more. It doesn't feel like it does not feel like it's the normal way things are. It's not just like it feels more earned. I think that's a good way to put that.
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer that the best place for a person to go, it's not a good place, but the best place is rock bottom. Because at rock bottom, the only way is you can't dig lower than the rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do not wish that upon anyone, but I wish the people who get there to get out as well.
100%. 100%.
And be stronger for it.
Yeah. Yeah, because now a lot of people that had that in their childhood, they ended up like I said, you're an exception to this because you've managed to turn it into a very positive thing, essentially. Being able to find, right, this is where I was, this is where I never want to be. A lot of people can't find the way out of there. Now, what would you say to someone who comes up to you and is like, look, I'm where you were. What would you say to be able to help me out of that position?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I mean, like I mentioned, if you already do like minimal things like dressing good, like keeping yourself more clean, don't like ignore your hygiene and stuff, because I definitely did that as a teenager, because like I was the fat kid anyway. Why should I wash myself? It's not like I didn't wash myself at all, but maybe not enough, you know?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I should have done, but that's just the thing. If you present yourself to the outward world in a more positive way, even though you fake it, like there's the saying, fake it till you make it. There's a lot of truth to that. And at some point, hopefully at least, it probably won't work for all. At some point, if you do that, your head starts to switch your thinking into a positive thing. Like, you suddenly believe the stuff you say about it yourself. Like, for example, when I go around like, I'm the greatest, I'm like God and stuff, of course, I know that's not the case. Like, I make myself much better than I am. But by putting myself that high, I also, like, basically lift up the real me with that. but with the thinking about myself with that. If that makes sense.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
now it's something that me and my other half have been talking about lately. Because now I've got a lofty goal for myself. I am like 80% sure I'll never get there. I'll be honest, because it is a stupid goal. I want to be a world's strongest man before I'm 40.
Yeah, well.
So yes, it is a very lofty goal. But if I hold myself to that esteem, then I may get into qualifiers for Britons or something like that. So the official term for it is manifestation.
Yeah.
But
and
no, you carry on.
And one thing I recently, I don't remember who said it, but there are people who get like, for example, Olympia, right? So the best of the best of the best. And they get pissed about being like in 16th place. But if you think about it, of all the billions of people in the world, you're the 16th best. Like, that is crazy. You might not have achieved the best, but you're still like, number 16 is high. Look at all the other people who are like way lower in like the 7-digit realms and stuff.
Exactly.
You're like,
there
are only 50 people better than you.
Yeah. We hold
That's
ourselves
crazy
to such a pedestal, and then it is that belief, because they believe that they're the best in the world, and then they're shown that they're not, but they can't look past the fact that they're not. You know?
Yeah, you gotta look at what you achieved and not what you could have achieved.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking about things that we've achieved, what would you say has been the most pivotal thing that you've achieved? Now, it doesn't have to be a good thing. It could be something that was a terrible thing that literally changed your mindset to go, right, no, we need to work on this and get better. Yeah,
that's a very good question
today, man.
That's a hard question. Yeah. I think honestly, it's finally getting my ass up and go like into that game making, because the thing that I could have mentioned it earlier, like when I was playing games as a child, like I said, starting with 6 and stuff, already with like age 10, my friends and me always made up like new levels for Donkey Kong and this stuff. So basically, what I never have thought though is that I can actually make games, because back then it was like only Japanese people make games, which not quite true, but most games came from Japan back then. I'm not Japanese. I'm not a game developer, as if you don't learn to be one, right? Like, sure, every game developer was born as that, but that was basically what you thought back then about jobs like that. That I finally got into that thinking of like, okay, I'm gonna start making an actual game now and commit to that as well. And gladly I can, thanks to Moby. And I think the thinking about that is probably the biggest achievement, because that gave me like my direction in life, where I really want to go. Like coming from basically working at a grocery store, that was awful.
Yeah,
that was awful.
We've all done it.
Yeah. Worst 2 years, well, maybe not worst 2 years of my life, but not good ones. But yeah, I think that commitment, getting out of the thought, especially that you cannot do it because you can. Especially like nowadays, it's really easy as well. Well, like easy at least to make it, not really like to make it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get the knowledge to be able to make a physical product rather than whereas now there's a lot of competition for, so once you've got the product, well, now you're competing with everyone else.
Yeah, but back then like indie development wasn't even a thing. like everything was a big publisher and developer.
Yeah, all
Nowadays,
the indie games had to go through like EA and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then you watch these small indie studios, which is what they were at the end of the day, being bought out and then disappearing.
Yeah. Bit sad, but what can you do? Like, in the end, it is the job world, not the fun world.
Absolutely. Now, do you find that, and it's like there's parts of your game that have essentially been almost born out of like stuff that's happened to you previously? Because at the end of the day, when you create a game, you're still creating a story, and a story is a form of art. A lot of artists, they use their previous experiences to influence what they're doing now.
Not deliberately. I basically just want to deliver a cool story, but I think having the main characters being very positive is probably stemming from that. I don't really like to write negative characters. I mean, in a funny way, yes, but not like... Yeah, I would probably be a very, very bad drama author. Probably. But let me write a heroic story about the good guys always win, and that's where I'm at.
Was there like a developer or a publisher or a programmer that has essentially not helped you but almost inspired you to do this as well? Because you said that it was that when you decided to go along with your passion project. What was it that brought you to go along with it? Was it just a challenge of just being told, well, not being told essentially, but yourself telling yourself that you can't do this, to the point where you're like, well, no, I'm going to go out and try and learn it?
Basically, it was not like... I mean, I was inspired a lot by like Square Enix games and Nintendo games, of course, but what got me into like, I want to make a game is basically I have a giant pool of like fantasy in my head. Like I'm always thinking up stories when like everything. When I shower and stuff, I always in my head make games and stuff, how they could look and things. And it was just like, I want to play these games as well. And basically for the game we are currently making, that started a very long time ago and was very different in the beginning. I was like 12 maybe when I thought that up first.
Yeah.
And I always liked monster taming games like Pokemon, Dragon Quest Monsters and stuff. And I wanted to create one myself with my own monster designs. I'm bad at drawing, thus I go to describing them so other people can realize that. But yeah, basically I just wanted to play these games that I made up myself in my head. Just making them up wasn't enough for me anymore.
Now, obviously, we're part of a couple of Discord communities together. Have you ever thought about, with some of the stories that aren't related to your game, have you ever thought about doing one of them as, say, like a D&D campaign or something along those lines, like a one-shot or something? Like, so at least then the story is out there, and you can almost essentially test the waters with it as either a potential another project or a potential sequel. Like, I know it's not even out yet, and I know it's still in the early stages, but still, I always think
or like 6
ahead.
sequels in my head. So, so yeah. Funny that you asked that, because actually there is one story where I'm currently working to make it like a D&D style thing out of that, and maybe turn it into like a D&D style franchise at a point. So, yeah.
That is something I'm going to be very interested in. I don't have the opportunity to play a lot of D&D. I've played a Duos one, which was a one-shot adventure. It's a romantic thing, so you can play it with your other half. If you want to play it, drop me a message later. I'll send you the link to them because it was fucking fantastic. But as you know, I play a lot of Baldur's Gate and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I like being able to take a slower pace with a game.
Yeah, definitely too. I'm not really into rushing games.
Yeah.
Well, except recently Metroid Prime 4, that was a thing. I don't know if you played that, but
Not yet.
yeah. It has issues. I describe it as like an unpolished diamond still in its rock casing. So at the core, there is fun to be had.
Yeah. See, I've moved a lot away from
Yeah.
Nintendo and Switches, mostly down to how Nintendo are treating the Switch 2. With some of the laws and stuff behind it, it's like, I am not too sure if that would be beneficial. Because I might be misquoting myself. You're going to be more of an expert than me on this. But I can't remember if it was you can't share a game or something like that. There's something weird that they've added to it that meant that I wouldn't be able to play a game myself and then pass it on to the kids, or I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll find out what it is at some point.
I mean, it's kind of the opposite, actually. Like, they included a feature where you can actually, if other people are in your family group, you can also, like, for 2 weeks, give them a digital game to test it out.
Give me 1 second.
So,
I'm going to look this up so I can get it right, because I can't remember what it was, but I remember when, because I was speaking with the kids about buying them one, and yeah, I read about it, and it's like it's not worth what it was, especially with kids and the price of how much a Nintendo Switch is.
yeah, the Switch 2 is a bit more expensive than the Switch 1, but, like, I think it's worth it, like, especially with the 4K screen, which looks gorgeous and stuff. But, well, of course, everybody has to decide what it's worth to themselves, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I can't seem to find it. I think it was behind them bricking it or something like that. But yeah, I'll find out.
I mean, yeah, okay, if you like brick your Switch, you get a permaban from everything, basically. But I mean, just don't do that, and then you're fine.
Well, yeah, no, I do. Like, I get it. I do get it. But at the same time, I understand there's going to be some low-income families that can't afford the premium price, should we say?
Yeah,
seems to be happening.
Yeah, that's why I always like. I really hate the debate about like when people say Mario Kart is 90 euros. First off, you can get it for 40 still if you buy it with the Switch bundled, so you don't have to pay 90. And physically, it's 80. But it's like, to me, the game was worth it. To other people, it isn't, because yeah, everybody has their own measurement of what's worth their money.
Yeah,
I just feel like complaining about prices when it comes to entertainment is a bit weird when like groceries are fucking expensive nowadays.
Yes.
So yeah,
it's all down to how much value you're willing to put on your entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do like about Nintendo though is that they've stuck with, yes, you can get the digital copies, don't get me wrong, but I believe it's something like 98% of their games or somewhere around there, you can get a physical copy. So you can have that collection, because that helps the collector in me.
Yes, I mean, a lot of people complain about the game key cards, which basically have a download code on the cartridge.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is it that different from PS5? Like, people are always like, PS5 game, you can put it in and play even if the servers are down. But can you really without a day one patch nowadays?
I had a day one for Cyberpunk on PlayStation 4 and it was unplayable for the first 4 months. So
so yeah. Cyberpunk is a good example again, like when you say you can't play the game key cards when the servers are down in like what 30 years, because people always say the Wii U eShop is down, but you can still download the games you bought. You just can't buy new ones. So there's not really anything down from what you bought. It's like, then you have examples like Cyberpunk. Yeah, good luck playing with that if you have the physical thing. I don't think that works that well nowadays anymore. No, it's just not the retro days anymore.
Oh yeah, but on the other side of it, now you can get games going back to Cyberpunk, where another good example is No Man's Sky. That's the one where
that had a lot of shitstorm at the beginning.
Absolutely. Look at how they began to how they ended. Because No Man's Sky, they're still bringing out content.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's also one thing I like. Like, a lot of people say retro games were finished and stuff. Were they? Were they really? Like, I played some buggy messes back then, and those couldn't be patched. So, I am not sure if that statement works.
I still remember finding Mitten No in Pokemon.
Yes.
I think I had Pokemon Blue. Yeah, Pokemon Blue back in the day.
Yeah, Red and Blue were like held together by a bit of spit and hope. Like, these games were not polished. Really not.
So, obviously, you've got quite a large collection, as we can see, because I just keep looking over it. I'll be honest, I'm listening intently on what you're saying, but I keep seeing the Pokemon games behind you, all of your mangas behind you. Would you say that you're quite an eccentric person behind it all, with like how you're collecting these things as well?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, mostly I buy collector's editions. The Pokemon games are the 3DS versions. They're just cardboard boxes that had a code in them. Yeah. Well, I think they were cool. I had the original ones back then, but yeah, thanks to my dad, I basically have only the Super Nintendo left. He gave everything away to other children. Thanks for that. So, well. But I just like buying collector's editions of stuff I enjoy. And sometimes that works out not that well. Well, granted, I think 2 times I kind of regretted buying the collector's edition or the game at all. Which was Dark Souls 2, because, I don't know, something about Dark Souls just doesn't work with me. It's not like the difficulty, because I loved Sekiro, and I would feel that is even more difficult. And the other one was called, and that's a kind of funny one, it's from Nisa, and it's called Princess Guide, I think.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a very unknown game, and the collector's edition was like an art book and a CD or something, so it's not even that much money loss. And the problem I had with the gameplay was kind of fine, but they had to, like, they were hand-drawn images with jiggle physics.
Oh.
And that took me so extremely out of this game that I think might have been good, but I just couldn't enjoy it because I don't need that at all. Just, like, depict them normally, please.
Yeah, with the jiggle physics, like, that's becoming quite a big thing as well, that I've noticed. Like, now, me personally, I think that we're going back to an era, essentially, of over-sexualization in not just gaming anymore. Like, it's across all animated content.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say regarding that? Would you say it's a good thing, or, well, obviously not a good thing after what you've literally just said? But
yeah. I always found it annoying if like, especially anime did that. If it was all like, for example, there are good examples where you can use like the quote-unquote sexualization. I don't know if you have read Magister Negimagi.
No.
Probably not. Okay, so there they used it in kind of a good way. You basically have only like panty shots, like upskirt, well, schoolgirls. Okay, they are underage schoolgirls still, but the way they did it there is like he was a wind mage, so his element was wind, but he was still like new to that thing. And whenever he sneezed, like a strong wind blew the skirts up. It was kind of like, at least in a funny way, and it makes sense. If you include it that way, I can live with it, but if you include it just for the sake of sexualization, yeah, please don't. That doesn't add anything. It's just, nah.
How do you think that, because obviously we've already discussed it, and essentially what you consume it will impact how you are as a person. Now, with this over sexualization, how do you think that that's going to end up impacting society? Because we've already had there's a new documentary on Netflix regarding the manosphere. There's like a raise in sexist, racist, Islamophobic, homophobic comments across the board. Now, I remember when I used to think it was just England like this. However, I've noticed other countries are going the same sort of route. Do you think that that could be not just the over-sexualization, but all the content that we're getting consumed is impacting us in that way as a society?
I think there is definitely an impact, because the wishful thinking would be that it's just animated or like acted or something, so it's not real, but people don't think like that. I think people who don't really think it through, or like young and impressionable people, of course, get a feeling from that the sexualization is obviously okay, because, well, all the media I'm consuming does it. So I'm not gonna say they're all like, adult offenders in the end, but I think they will not know where like a boundary is supposed to be due to that. And like it or not, but the media we consume is definitely forming us. It's not like because the parents neglect how they raise you necessarily, but it's still a part. Like, you can't take away media nowadays anymore from children and stuff. You just can't. But I feel like, especially because of that, something that's overstepping boundaries and things, and this whole sexualization thing should be put in the right perspective, that it's not a good thing, not the normal thing, not what you should do. I feel like that should be done more in media. Not like gonna censor everything, but being a bit more aware of what people take away from it, I think would be good.
Yeah,
from the producer side. Yeah.
It in my opinion, it's gone too far, because like me and you, we're from the same sort of generalization. That's the wrong word. Generation is the word I was looking for. But like, we were the first ones essentially raised with technology. Because like my parents had brick phones. And when I say brick phones, I don't mean the little Nokias. I'm on about the old brick phones where you had to have a battery pack separate to plug into.
Yeah.
Now, we've had to learn ourselves, like, because I'm pretty sure you remember the early days of the internet when we didn't need a dark web because everything was on the normal web.
Yes.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
So really, we're going to be the generation that's helping the younger generations, the Gen X, Gen Z, whatever they are this time, to essentially navigate their way through this amazing creation. Don't get me wrong, the internet, fantastic thing. Anything you want is there. But there's a lot of stuff that you could want, but you shouldn't want, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, especially like in the adult video stuff, which depicts things very unrealistically. So
absolutely,
I'm glad I wasn't raised on that, basically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, unfortunately, I was, so because I found out at a very young age, unfortunately for myself. But like, I had to essentially relearn that is acting in a film.
Yes.
And then you get bits that you're looking at it like, that's not a film. That stuff shouldn't be on the internet at all. So,
but you managed to relearn. That's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
yeah, most people, I think, don't realize they need to relearn. So in a way, they could be called victims as well, which makes all the things much more shit in a way.
Absolutely. Now, I don't think that mass censorship is going to be the answer, because that's what the UK is going towards. Like, we've got to get onto adult websites, you need to scan your face. Oh yeah, you've got to scan your face to prove your identity and to prove your age before you can access an adult website. To the point where there's certain Reddit threads, that are nothing to do with adult content, but you need to scan your face so that you can get onto them, because someone has mentioned something that could be slightly related to adult content.
Yeah, and where does your face land after that?
An American server that has already been hacked and everyone's information has already been leaked.
Yeah, that's bad. But I also kind of feel like they gotta do something to protect, especially underage people, from seeing certain things. How would you do that? The face scan technically is not a bad thing if it was like used well and not like going on a hacked server, of course. But these things are never used as they should be. They are always abused to sell your data and stuff. And like, the solution is kinda easy, but it just doesn't work because of greedy people.
Yeah, and for outside agents. Like, now, obviously AI is a big thing in the current generation. Have you heard about the new one out of China called Claude?
No.
So it is essentially going to beat ChatGPT because of how quickly it's learning.
Of course, from China.
Yeah, they are currently being sued because it was used to breach a I can't remember whether it was a country or a military. Sorry, a company or a military.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, scary stuff is happening in AI.
Yeah, it's like, I am quite confident to spot AI when I see it right now. But ask me in like 20 years if some news video showing something is real or not. I think even with like my experience with digital stuff in general won't help me there anymore. So what can you believe at that point?
Yeah.
And that is very scary.
Yeah,
so
we already live in an age of misinformation.
Yeah.
Not being able to tell if it's misinformation, that's going to be... Well, we're already in that stage, to be fair, at times. There's a lot of information out there, even shared by, for example, BBC News. Largest news outlet in the UK. They got sued by America because they edited one of Donald Trump's speeches in such a way that it looked so natural. It looked absolutely natural. No.
Like, I mean, I would criticize Trump, but you gotta stay to the facts if you wanna go at him. Like, you gotta stay factual. You can't fake stuff. That won't help anything.
Exactly. Like, facts won't lie. People will.
Yes.
But with AI, are you worried that it's going to end up impacting the stuff that you do? For example, your YouTubes. Because you've got 2 channels. Like, it's very easy for someone, if they say, looking like, I don't like you, that it's very easy for someone to be able to build a hate bot, essentially, through AI.
Yeah, I think YouTube will be impacted, to be honest. YouTube will definitely be impacted. It's like already happening with non-AI stuff that gives you fake news, that just make up stuff with some images that are photoshopped. And if these channels have like already millions of subscribers and views daily, yeah, they will just thrive when AI gets to a point where it's like extremely believable. They won't be stopped by anything then. Like, if they are successful now without AI already spreading fake stuff, Yeah, AI just makes their work easier. And then you have like another content farm.
Yeah.
The problem is like, I mean, doing Let's Plays, I probably am at a bad place anyway because Let's Plays aren't big anymore on YouTube. But I enjoy doing it. I just hope that there will be like at least some bubbles left where you can still just be a person and do your content and people will enjoy that. And then just like maybe you get a split or something.
Yeah. Speaking about like what's popular and what's not in regards to YouTube and all the such. Now I don't believe in that side of it essentially because what's his name? Joe Rogan, biggest podcaster in the world. He started doing it. Everyone was like, "Well, who's going to watch 3 hours of you chatting away with someone chatting conspiracies right around?" It's like the people that watch it. I'll just put it out there, and if they want to find it, they'll find it.
Yeah.
So your audience almost will find you rather than you having to find it, which
True.
especially for Let's Plays, like there's still a very big market for them. Get rid of my snuff pouch. Sorry, I've quit smoking, so I need nicotine some way.
Hey, you're getting there.
Look, it's my only vice. It's my only vice. Well, it's one of my only vices.
Yeah.
Everything I do is legal in the
UK. No one is without a fault, to be honest. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of vices, what would you say would be your vice? Because everyone needs to have, well, not needs, sorry, but everyone seems to have something that they are almost essentially addicted to.
Probably gaming, I would say, which feels like avoiding to say something, but like I don't smoke, I don't drink. Well, I drink like juice and stuff, but not like alcohol.
No, I know what you mean.
But can I go like a week without gaming? I think that would be a struggle, to be honest. So, yeah.
But
I'm not sure if I would call it an addiction, but it's definitely something I will never give up on.
But at the same time, whilst it can be a destructive thing, like you said earlier, when you're saying that you like essentially got to the point where you're like, no, I need to go out and touch grass. Like that's where it could be turned as a bad thing. However, with like everything that you're doing, your passion project, your streaming, it's all geared around what you're essentially saying is your vice, which, in my opinion, means that you're trying to find a positive aspect, positive outlook on your something that you are already passionate about.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanna go say something negative, I guess I'm just fucking lazy. Sometimes it's just, especially when it comes to like food. Sometimes you think like, I could make myself a nice meal, peel some potatoes and stuff here and there, or the air fryer can make fries for me. And then you lost. And then the air fryer is going. We do that a bit too much recently. We're trying to get back from that again. Back off of that again.
See,
but yeah.
Again, that's where I'm like, with my goal, I need to be able to eat certain amounts. So I would show you what I've got, but I cheated today. I had a curry. Well, I say it's a curry. I had 2.
Oh no!
I each one's meant to be 2 servings. I had 4 people's worth of curry.
But honestly, I think that's a very healthy way to go for your goal, because I have seen people that are also like into like strongman stuff and things. They really only eat rice and chicken every day, and it's like, sure, that does help you reach your goal, but don't you want to like have some different taste at one point? Do you really feel good that way? Is it really worth it to live that life? I mean, for some people it might be, but like, why not a cheating day here and there? Well, maybe you only get second place instead of first, but whatever. You enjoyed a good meal. Isn't that worth it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is, again, part of the reason why I don't think I'll ever, like, I want to hit worlds, but I don't think I will. Because I like food, man. I like good food. Like, this is why I'm friends with New. I like good food. Like,
Oh
even
yeah.
my other half knows that I like good food. Like, one of the foods that my other half likes is halloumi fries. She is a fiend for them, to the point where it's dangerous. If I was to buy like the pre-made ones and bring them into her house, I need to hide them so that I can have one. Because the second she sees them, they're gone. If I make them and she smells them, they're gone.
Oh yeah. Well.
So what I've done for Valentine's Day, I learned how to make it.
Oh.
Yeah. Make homemade halloumi fries. And I'm there, I was like, look, don't eat any. I want to take a picture and send it to some people that I know. I managed to get a picture of 4 out of the 40 that I made.
Oh, that's a nice gesture. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Gifts of service to the ones that we love, hey?
Yeah, we usually do gaming on Valentine's Day and don't even realize it's Valentine's Day.
So what sort of games is it do you two play together? Is it like the first one that pops in my head is It Takes Two. Stuff like that, the ones where you got to work together to make it progress through the story, or is it like you play like separate games or
Usually we play separate games. Like Moby enjoys like Pikmin a lot. And what do I forget now?
you can't forget it, mate.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker she really loved. Usually when the new Pokemon games come out, which always come in 2 editions, we play those together. Like she plays one edition, I play the other, and then we can like trade and stuff. We don't battle though. Like we're not really competitive. Maybe Smash Bros sometimes, but yeah. Or Mario Kart World, or general Mario Kart in general. It's yeah, but most of the time we play different games. And just yeah. Or like okay, Pokopia we play separately because the multiplayer in that does require 2 Switch 2s.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is a game share feature where you can share it with someone who has a Switch 1, basically streaming the game to that Switch 1 from your Switch 2. But that is very limited, and yeah, she can't use her own character and stuff. I think it's still a nice feature, so yeah, for siblings and stuff, they can play together, but yeah, maybe for us, not that much. Though she did help me get a mountain down. that was helpful. But yeah, we don't play much co-op or competitive stuff together. Like, I mean, sometimes we do, just not a lot.
Because obviously she supports you through a lot of what you're doing.
Yes, and I'm very grateful for that.
What would you say that you would you do to help support her in what she's doing? Like whether it be like passion projects, work, anything.
I emptied the dishwasher.
That's good. You're helping around the house.
Not as much as I could, to be honest. But I guess most of the thing is giving her mental stability. Not like I don't want to dive too much into her personal stuff because that's not my place to tell. But she had some rough times with her family, and yeah, I've been there for that and got her out of a lot of bad things. So yeah, it's more the mental stuff. Not that like I don't have mental support from her as well, sure, but I guess me being me helps her already a lot. Yeah. And also sometimes gives her a headache.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for. We are here to make their lives better, and then we will sidetrack them as soon as we can.
Yes.
No, it's good, man. It's good to know you've got a good support network, and like the fact that you two have been married for 11 years, it shows that whilst you can't name it, there are other things that you're doing that you're not even aware of.
Probably, yeah. Very likely.
Honestly, but there definitely is. Like, I'm going to expose myself a bit here, but to be fair, she'd done it in one of the servers that we're in. Like, my other half, when we first met, she was into her fitness, but she always said, "Oh, I thought about doing a PT, thought about doing this, thought about doing that." I was like, "Well, do it." I never counted that as much because we don't. It's just you're there telling them, go, just follow your dreams, do what you want to do. Obviously she's now gone and got herself qualified. I was actually talking with her yesterday in the car about this. And I'm like, yeah, you put in this appreciation post. I done nothing. I just found it and said go for it. But it can be that push that we're giving them into doing stuff that will help them that we don't even realise we're doing. So you've got, like, she's probably more thankful for you over things that you don't even realise you've done, man. Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Because it just shows that you're a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope I am at least. No, I am pretty sure I'm a good person. I mean, never being in a fight or anything already says a lot, I guess.
You two haven't fought in 11 years.
No, not like that, like fist fighting with someone like that. No, we were in fights. But I think her grandfather has said that. I know that phrase from her. And that was very inspiring. You can fight as much as you want in a relationship. As long as you share the same bed in the evening, everything's fine. And that's like, yeah. Actually, yeah. As long as you end the day not fighting anymore, I guess all is good. I mean, if you fight every day, maybe not, but yeah. It's like maybe 2 times a year we get into a real argument about stupid shit. We don't even remember what it is afterwards.
Oh, mate, we all do it. Like, I know that me and her have had an argument and I don't even remember what it was about. Neither does she. It's just these things. But that's life. That's part of living with someone. That's part of being in love. And, well, for you anyway, being married. I'm not married. Christ. I'd need to get a prenup. Because, square root of nothing is still nothing.
Honestly, being married or not doesn't matter at all.
It's just
I can't even tell you why I wanted to get married. Like, I just felt like I wanted to. But why? No idea. I like being married, but like we have some tax things with that, some tax bonus stuff with that. And that's basically it. Because at the end of the day, if you're married or not, you love each other. So what is the difference? Nothing changes after you marry.
Yeah, it's essentially 2 rings and a piece of paper.
Yeah. Yet I wanted to do it, but I completely understand if people don't wanna. But yeah, the tax thing we get is basically that she has to pay less taxes now that we're married.
Ooh.
As I don't pay taxes, yeah. It's like a split thing where the percentage of taxes you pay changes. And you can choose which system you want to use.
Yeah.
So we chose the system for that's beneficial for us.
Oh, I'm going to get married and move to Germany then. Sound. But
yeah, so basically, the one who owns more, you want to get them to have the less percentage.
Yeah.
That would mean you would need to pay more, but, in the end, you have more money than the other way around.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
Oh, absolutely.
That wasn't the driving force behind it, but, I don't know. I could never tell you why I wanted to get married. I just wanted it. But in the end, we were living together before that, and nothing changed, like I said.
So to change the conversation a little bit, just take a little bit of a swerve. Obviously, you've got all your passion projects and everything else. Is there anything that you've not done that you wish you had, or that you wish you had have started? Because I'm pretty sure you'd have wished you'd have started your passion project sooner. But I'm on about, like, say, I don't know, taking up an instrument, starting a band. Like that, those are the first two that popped to my head.
Yes, and kinda no. I wish I have the lowest, well, not the lowest education you can get in Germany, but like 9 classes of school was what I had.
Yeah.
And I kinda wished that I did more, because you can like go up to 12 it is now. It was 13 and now it's 12. I would probably haven't gotten through all the 12 classes you can have, like the highest education basically, before you go to uni and stuff, of course. The thing is, it's not quite my fault why I didn't do that, because that was when we moved to Hungary. Yeah. So the option was taken from me, but I wish I had that higher education. It wouldn't do me any good nowadays, maybe, but it does open doors easier for you. I wouldn't have to go into grocery stuff if I had that.
Is there not the option?
That retail shit.
Is there not the option to go back and do it, even as an adult?
You could. I just don't see the benefit for it anymore, because I want to be like make my own company anyway. So
yeah, self-made rather than
yeah.
Absolutely.
So what does it matter?
Yeah.
And yeah, back then I was also really bad at school. Like, my grades weren't good. Nowadays, like, that's another thing. We talked about how media impacts you. I always hated math, because every kids show told you math is shit. But I did realize I enjoy math. It's just my mindset was, huh?
Maths is everything.
Yeah. My mindset just was made by media that I, as a boy, should not like math. Okay. But I realized I actually liked it. So my bad grades could have been better if I realized that sooner.
So if you hadn't have gone to Hungary, and let's say you didn't go to Hungary, you'd done the 12 classes, where do you think you would have essentially ended up?
Oh, that would be a very impactful change, because maybe I would have never known Moby in that case.
Exactly.
Because
I'm assuming.
Well, hopeful thinking is like university, probably. Studying something there. Not that I would have known which, but like I would have 3 more years to think about what I do. Like when I was graduating, I was 15, and then was like, now do something with your life. Okay. Yeah. I think I hopefully would have gotten into game making still, because the RPG Maker was a thing that I knew about, where you could make your own games. Simple games, but still. And maybe I would have gotten into university for like game development, which, real talk, not the best thing to study if you want to make games, but but you can get some connections there, so I don't know. Maybe everything would have gone to shit as well. Who knows?
See, it is ridiculous looking at it that way, because you're there saying, oh, at 50, I don't know where my life would have been going. In the UK, our education system is set up so that by 15, you basically have to have an idea on where you're going to be going. Because you finish school at 16, and then, well, you're done with school. Like, you have to decide whether you're going to go apprenticeship, go into the workforce, go and do higher education. Like, we don't have the time to be able to essentially decide what we want to do.
So you don't have like a system where you can have a higher school education before university and stuff?
Yeah, so we have it's called further education, but we have, when you going into further education, you have to essentially already decide what you want to do in uni, so that you can choose the right courses on your further education.
Oh,
to be able to.
Okay.
And then you get someone like me who didn't know what they wanted to do. Because
Yeah.
Believe it or not, out of everybody I know, I've got a degree. I have a bachelor's degree in public and environmental health. I am a mechanic by trade.
Are some very different things.
I only became a mechanic 4 years ago.
Well, well, I hope the machines are healthy.
Oh yeah. I do. Surprisingly, I'm pretty good at it. I don't know how that happened, but
I mean, yeah. So the school system in Germany basically has like 3 degrees of graduation you can get, like the lowest being 9, and then I think it's 11 and 12 if I'm not wrong. And after that, like you can go to university even without a degree. Technically speaking, as like university is free anyway. It's just the thing, you can write yourself in, but if they actually take you, well, if you're lucky, that could work out. But yeah, you at least need like the middle grade education, the 11 years, for that to probably be a real choice.
Yeah, it's just a cultural difference in the education side of it. I'll be honest, it shocked me. Like at 14, I knew that I wanted to get a degree. Didn't know when, but
yeah, and technically, if you do like the full 13 years, you're like 19 or something then.
Jeez.
And then you still really don't have a grasp on what you want to do with your life. You're still 19. That's still young.
19. I was in my 2nd year of uni.
To give an example for Moby, for example, she knew she wanted to be a programmer when she was like 10.
Absolutely.
Due to her father being one, she was in that field and she enjoyed it. So, yeah, that is not the normal way things go, though. Most people don't know that early what they want to be later on.
Yeah, so because I was going to ask, like, do you think that it does, unfortunately doesn't apply to you because of how the education system is set up in Germany? So I was going to say, do you think that the education system is trying to force people into deciding too early? But I'm going from the English education system, which I believe is still too early. And then I find out you get another fucking 4 years. Jeez, man.
I mean, you can't, like, you need a certain grades to get into these 11 or 13 year 12 year thingies. So if you're like having bad grades in general, they won't accept you into that, because the thing is, you get way more knowledge, way more denser that you need to learn, and if you struggled with the basic education, you will never get through that. But yeah, the option is there.
Yeah.
And while the education system is still shit here, I think there are a lot of examples of very much worse systems.
Oh, many worse systems than that. I believe it's not Singapore, it's the country that they're originally with. I can't remember, but originally Singapore wasn't its own country. It was another joined with another one. They split in, I want to say it was either the early 70s or late 60s, around that sort of time. Singapore has bloomed thanks to essentially removing corruption and looking after the students. The other country is getting there eventually, they will. Because they don't look after the students, so the workforce is uneducated.
Yeah, and that will not be, like, if you want to make the future for a country good, you gotta invest in the children, because they are the future. And that's a huge issue we do have in Germany, because there's a huge rate of unemployedness. But the thing is, there are a lot of open jobs. people just don't have the education for these jobs. And then you have like the jobs you can do with low education, like retail and stuff. They are filled to the brim. And like, if you would just put more into education, then things would even out. But yeah, tell that to a politician and then make them realize that this is how it should be. Good luck. Well, that's a challenge.
Yeah, that's an easy way of putting it. But so obviously, as I believe we've already discussed it, like in the youth these days, the younger generation, they've got the mental health issues are a lot more prevalent. Now, I'm not sure whether it's more prevalent or overdiagnosis, or whether we're actually able to get a diagnosis. Could be all three, because at the end of the day, like back in the 50s, you're just called, oh, they're just a bit of an odd person, and it's like you look back at them, it's like, no, they were autistic.
Yes, you were just a weird one. No, it's actually not your fault.
Do you think that, like, with how well you experienced your education system, do you think that it's beneficial to how mental health is with the younger generation, or do you think it could be a bit detrimental? Like, putting the media side of it as to one side, because as we know, media and social media, they are two terrible things for mental health. But
yes,
we've got them. We have to deal with them.
Yeah. I think the pressure that schools put on you to like decide what you want to be before you even know what options you have and stuff is definitely not helping with mental health. Like, it's really like it was in 7th grade, I think. We were getting like a paper where where we should have put in like 3 jobs we want to go into. I was like, are there even 3 jobs that I can get into? Like, I'm 12. Hell, I don't know what I want to be. I like manga. I want to do something with manga. And like that pressure, it just doesn't help. I don't think that's a good thing. I feel like what schools should do, and I mean, yeah, it's a problem with time and everything, but they should have a class where they, at least like for a limited time, maybe a month or so, where they just show the options and like all the options, not like school being like, game development, nah, that's bad. Do something, do a real job. No, just show all the options you have, and then maybe some children will realize, hey, that sounds interesting. Maybe I want to try that. I didn't even think that is an option. That would probably take away a bit of pressure. Probably not enough, but I think that would be one way to help. But in general, yeah, schools put too much pressure on you needing to get your life together when you're like barely 2 digits old.
Yeah, you're getting too much pressure when there's already enough societal pressure and the pressure of essentially,
yes,
like your biological pressure of becoming an adult and puberty, which that's not going to be beneficial at all.
Yeah. Then nowadays also, I hope this isn't too controversial sounding, but given that the
Sorry,
I hope people don't misunderstand me now, but like we nowadays have this acceptance for like gay people, trans people, and everything, and that is a good thing. But also, the children who now know that these things could be that they are something, finding that out through puberty, and like they should find that out. That's the time where you need to find out what like your sexuality or whatever is. Maybe you're asexual as well. That can be the case. But that takes so much of your thinking space already. And then on top of that, they put on that you need to find out what job and stuff you need to do with your life. Where should a young person sort all that? How should they, like, while being like 8 hours in school as well, they don't even have the time to get their feelings right. And also, their plan for the future and everything. It's all stacked together. I mean, of course, the solution can't be that go through puberty first and then school. That won't work. But it's a bit like the positive thing, the openness we have nowadays when it comes to sexuality and gender and stuff. It also bites back a bit because there's like more things to consider for people who are too young to consider so many things, because especially when you're in puberty, like, you're dumb as fuck. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Like, your hormones just don't do your brain well at that time, and that's something we all go through.
Yeah. Now, the only reason I chuckled when you said controversial, because at the end of Minor News one, we were saying worse things than that. Because now, one of my stepkids, she's transgender. She's very young. Now, she hasn't started puberty. However, she had body dysmorphia from an even younger age, to the point where it was like, something's wrong. So we had to go, my other half had to go down the route of, right, transgender, dressed as a girl, sorted, fine. That's how we fix the issue as a temporary, sort of like putting a plaster over a broken bone. Just there you go, you can now function for now. However, the thing that I am personally worried about is when she starts hitting puberty. If she's biologically male, and like, I don't know my other half's opinion on this. I will need to have a proper discussion with her about it. But I'm one of those where, fine, HRT, transgender, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't really care. However, be a consenting adult first. Finish puberty, so then you're a clear mind. You haven't got all your hormones all over the place. Because the other side of HRT is, if you give puberty blockers to a child, then that's, if they decide that they're not transgender, that then has a knock-on effect for the rest of their life. Because their body won't produce the natural testosterone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say like being trans can go away, but in a way it can. Like, after that whole hormone chaos you have through puberty, maybe you don't want to be like trans anymore, but that doesn't mean like I'm gonna say normal, but like trans is normal as well, of course.
Yeah, no, like, I understand what you mean.
Maybe not that, but maybe a different direction. Maybe you're just like, okay, I feel. What was it? She was born male, right?
Yes.
So maybe I feel feminine, but I'm okay with my male body. So just a dress at that point might be enough. Which, now that you described it as like a band-aid over a broken bone, maybe after puberty that is enough. Maybe not, and then you can go with like more drastic measures. And I feel like hormone blockers, we need more long-term studies for that, especially because who knows what they might fuck up later on. And if you're happy with that, like, yeah, it's a dangerous thing to take, I feel. At least now. We don't have much science on it yet.
Buddy, I am the exact same. Like, I believe that science is the way forward. If science can prove it, then it can't be disproven unless it is a doctored study. You know, like when there's been like pharmaceutical companies that have paid for vaccines to be pushed through, essentially. But with the transgender issue, that it's a very modern issue, essentially.
Yeah.
And we haven't got the long-term studies. Christ, we're only just getting to the point where we are now looking into the issues and the effects of low testosterone in the male generation. Now, I've gone to a doctor's. I'm not classed as low testosterone. I paid for a private blood test through a sports company because obviously with my goal, a lot of people are on steroids with it. I'm not going to say all of them, but if you're going to lift 500 kilos off the floor, you are not natural.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, my personal blood work came back. They gave me all the information, and their doctor says, whilst I am in the normal range for testosterone, I am extremely low. So I could essentially just change my diet a little bit, and the NHS would be forced to give me testosterone replacement therapy. Now, I don't want to do that because it takes too long. Luckily, I'm in a country where steroids are legal for the average person to take. So I am on steroids. I have literally got them in front of me, and I injected before I started this podcast. I have been on them for, 2-3 weeks now? So they're definitely in my system. I had a blood test Wednesday, and they checked my testosterone levels as well, because they are aware that I'm on steroids, so it's something that they'll check with any blood work that they now do. I'm still within the normal range.
Okay.
So, I am a normal enhanced athlete.
Great. Normal enhanced.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm absolutely uneducated when it comes to steroids and stuff. But, I mean, looking at some bodybuilders, I'm like, you're overdoing it, dude. That's too much. But I guess a little support and stuff is probably needed, yeah.
Yeah, but even in the general male population, I do believe that every bloke at the age of 30 and onwards, you should get every, say, 5 years. Every 5 years, just get your levels checked. Just to see where you're sitting at. Because a lot of my issues, don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of issues. I've got an issue which is causing a lot of my other issues. Like, I may as well say it's going to end up coming out on this on a podcast eventually. But I've got a tumor in the brain. Now, it's benign, but they can't test it because it's on the hypothalamus in a place where it's to be able to get a biopsy, I would be dead. So either yeah. So I get every year, every 2 years, I get a full brain scan just to make sure it's not growing. This means that my brain is not releasing the correct amount of dopamine and serotonin. So I'm very prone to depression and anxiety. 2 things which I've been diagnosed for and I've been medicated for, and I don't like the medication, so I don't do it. I live with it. But
if you can, that's great. Yeah. Like, not taking the medicine is usually the better choice if you can get by without it.
Absolutely. Like, do not get me wrong, I have very terrible thoughts. Multiple times. I have, if I went down that route, I thought about suicide, in the last week, probably 7 times, 8 times, but because it's a more normal thing for me. Now, before I was on testosterone, though, it was more often. Since taking it, because my testosterone levels have raised, it does something to the male brain, and it does help. And then if you look at women, now I know someone who they have got a elevated estrogen, just naturally. Sorry, not naturally, because of birth control.
Oh yeah.
They've come off of birth control, and I've watched their personality change. They've become such a better person.
Yeah. Birth control pills are not good. I mean, that might be like a controversial thing to say, but like, they are also very big on causing cancer.
Yes.
And if you look into what research goes into products for women, oh boy, like they were mostly tested on men, which is like, how does that make sense? And there goes barely any research in it at all. Was like, what was that? There's a certain thing that usually only women get, like it's something with the stuff down there, and that is barely researched. Recently, a man got the same issue. 2 months later, a method to heal it was found. That is
endochromosis or something like that.
Yeah. Endo something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that. Yeah. Which is like, okay, please. I mean, these creatures are birthing your children. Do research on them, please. We need them.
Yeah.
I pointed out. Okay, that looked good on Discord.
Moby's just hiding in the corner at
the moment. But like, if you realize how little research is done on these products for women, it's really ouch.
Absolutely. It's
going
back to mental health. It's not beneficial to them.
Absolutely not.
For example, for women on antidepressants, they are normally on a higher dose than a male because of how the brain works. But all the studies were done on men, so they're just hoping.
Yeah. In the end, they don't even work.
No, they really don't. Like, I understand that it's a build-up effect and all of that, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone completely off topic, but it is what it is.
I tend to do that.
I'll be honest, this is why I like having these conversations, and I do it this way rather than having it say... when I first started this, people were saying, why don't you stream it? Well, because I don't want a chat involved. I want it to be an intimate discussion between two people. Why don't you have another person on as a co-host? Well, no, I want it to be an intimate discussion. Because, when there's 3 people talking, it could become a lot more convoluted. Like, there could be things that you might say to me that you wouldn't want to say in front of someone else, or like, Like, I know that there's going to be stuff that you won't tell me, whether it be down to just not knowing me properly or whatever. But that is what it is. We're still able to have that sort of conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just like, you could stream it, but I feel like, nah, it doesn't work well if there's a chat involved, like you said. It's well, I mean, you could ignore the chat completely, but then why stream it?
Exactly.
Then it would just be a recording. So
yeah.
But, no, it absolutely makes sense how you do this.
On mental
like for this specific topic.
Yeah. Sorry, you carry on. You carry on.
No, I'm not.
But, on mental health, like, when was the last time that you felt that your mental health was actually taking a genuine dip? Because, as I've said multiple times, you're so positive and everything that we, like, even the community haven't seen when your mental health... Because, now, I know that it's when you've disappeared from the communities for a bit. But no one knows. You know what I mean?
I mean, usually when I disappear, it's just because I'm occupied with other things, but it wasn't that long ago that I had I say heavy, it was not like, not into dark territories necessarily, but it was when, and it's my cat's fault, I want to state that, when I was like, basically I was going 2 to 3 weeks without real sleep because he misbehaved so heavily at night that I just couldn't sleep, and I was so sleep deprived that I was just like in the mental state of fuck it all, I'm not doing anything, I'm just existing, laying on the couch, not even playing games. Well, I did still play games, but you know. It was like, I was in such a bad headspace. I wanted to throw the game making away and everything because I was just so tired of everything. But only because of the sleep deprivation, so yeah. Once that got better, yeah.
Yeah, sleep's a major thing for everyone.
Yeah.
I need to get at least 5 hours, otherwise I'm cranky.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks where you get like 2 hours of sleep at most at night is just... Oof. That's just not good for you. Really not.
So during that time, rather than, as you said, you wanted to give up on all of this stuff, obviously you haven't. Did you take a step away from it all at the time? Or were you still trying to do the same, just at a lower amount? Or how did you amend your lifestyle to help with your essentially mental health challenge?
Yeah, basically I did take a step away from most things. I think I still streamed, which, yeah, at that point probably on stream I was like technically myself, but like still putting up a facade of like everything's okay. Because even when I'm, well, okay, at that point when I was down, I wasn't like, I feel great, but usually when I like, I don't know, I'm sick or something, I still say I'm great because mentally I feel fine. I'm just like, things hurt, but you know, I make the best of it. I can still be having fun with that. Yeah, but at that point, I probably put up a facade on stream, and otherwise I was stepping away from a lot of stuff. And yeah, in the end, it was Moby talking to Nu and Glennon specifically, because I, for no real reason, was mad at them too, which I'm still really sorry for, but they were very understanding. And that got us into talking, because I didn't talk to them for that time as well. Because, yeah, it was irrational as fuck. And that got me back up again, like, realizing, damn, it was just the fucking sleep stuff. Why, like, everything is still fine. Nothing bad really has happened. I just need sleep. And gladly, Genki, I name him, stupid cat, was starting to behave after that. I don't know why he suddenly was like, oh no, I'm sleep at night now too. Which, yeah, I got sleep and then everything got better again. But that did drop me heavily.
Yeah. So you said
but
that,
well,
obviously you were angry at Nu and Glennon, which, as you said, it was completely unfounded for no real reason. Did you find that actually managed to help strengthen the connection between you three?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Especially with Glennon. Sorry to out you, Glennon. No, I'm not outing him. No, it's like, yeah, with Nu, I was like close for a longer time. With Glennon, that has like, we always were like friends, but that has grown the recent months a lot more. So yeah, especially with him, it helped grow a lot. So strengthen that bond a lot.
Absolutely. And to be honest, it's a fantastic way for proving that whilst you may be having a mental health challenge, there is always a silver lining. Not only you manage to make a positive out of a negative time by being able to strengthen the connection between you three, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And that's like how I look at life. I try not to look at the negative things. I try to look at the positive things. So, for example, in a game, if the game doesn't have the best gameplay, hey, the story is still great. I enjoy the story. Then I still can enjoy the game. So, yeah, I just try, like, also in persons, I try to see the positive things. Of course, that doesn't work all the time, because some people are rather not positive. Let's put it like that. So, that's a nice way yeah, but yeah, I Could have different words, but yeah. But yeah, just like, yeah. In general, also when I meet someone new, I go in with like a positive attitude and like a basic respect. I'm fast to drop that respect for a person when they become shitty, but also, if you don't become shitty, I respect you, no matter what or who you are. Like what you are. You're a human, obviously. Turns out I'm chatting with a cat. What?
Jesus, man. Yeah, we've got some very, very what's the polite way to put it? Should we say eccentric community? To be polite about them?
I think that is a good way to put it. Yes. But, not pointing any fingers except at you. No, yeah. We're not pointing any fingers.
Everyone that is
you are bad.
Everyone that is listening right now, specifically you.
Yes, John. Oh, wait, we have Johnny. Damn it! Sorry, no, Johnny. I'm not talking. Shit. It's his fault for having a generic name.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, no,
look, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to call it because it is late and I do have work in the morning, but it has been fantastic having you on. I do look forward to your game coming out, and I definitely want to get you on closer to that time because there's more questions that I have, but they're more geared towards that side of things. So we'll wait until then for that one.
It's probably more I can't talk about because like right now I don't want to reveal too much, you know. Like
exactly. That's why I've been trying to tiptoe into it just to.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming on, buddy.
No problem. Was fun. And I hope I was an inspiration to at least one person. That already would be enough.
Exactly. If we can help one person, that's all that matters.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Have a good one. Cheers, man.
Cheers.